The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Whether you're new to sales or a lifetime veteran, the Blackbelt Sales Podcast will sharpen your sword and guide you to master the art of sales. And now, here's your host, the ninja himself, Gene Slade.
Welcome back, everybody. This is going to be a great episode. You are going to love it, and it's going to help you make a lot more sales. Good morning, Don. Good to see you, man.
Good morning.
Had a good training session this morning in the Lead Ninja Mastermind.
Wow, what amazing stories today. Just more and more excitement, and we have to just keep building on that and keep getting the process down so that the momentum continues. It's just so exciting.
One of my favorite stories from this morning was Alex, the installer, who came back from the class and in the first 3 days has done $19,000 in service sales. I'd love to see that, man. He's tracking at 1.5 million straight out the gate. Isn't that incredible?
That is incredible. That really is cool. Yeah, and he's excited. It's fun when you get the guys coming back, putting it into place, seeing some success, and then building on it. It just is wonderful. So yeah, I'm super excited about this class and this group and how it's all worked out.
I feel like we should probably do a recap of the hot buttons from last time for people that didn't actually tune into the episode. What do you think?
Yeah, you're great at those. And again, this is geared towards comfort advisors, comfort survey, but really anyone who presents equipment. This is where you go to it. Obviously, there are selling techs out there. It's relevant for them, but it gets you the item, gets you to understand what's important to them. So yeah, review those for us, Gene.
Awesome. And while I'm doing that, you might want to check your mic. We're getting a little crackling over there. So, all right, guys. So we went over 6 different hot button questions last time that will help us to choose the right system for the client and actually get the client to see how they would benefit from the different systems. So if you want to get the whole story, you want to go to the last podcast that we did. But let me just run through the hot buttons with you real quick. So I've just sat the clients down, and this is before I'd go do my measurements and do my load calculation and everything. And I say something like this to them: Tom, Susie, I've got some questions about things that may or may not be important to you. And I'm going to ask you to rate them on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 means you don't care at all. And 10 means I got to have that. It's super important to me. And by the way, this is not a compatibility test or anything like that. We know you guys are compatible. Your answers don't have to match. And it actually helps sometimes when they don't match. So feel free to give your own answers. So Don is going to be my client here, right? So I'm going to say, Don, on a scale of 1 to 10, how important is it to you that the system you end up investing in is efficient? And when I say efficient, what I mean is that it costs you as little on a monthly basis to operate. Scale of 1 to 10, how important would that be?
It'd be about a 7 or an 8. It's up there.
Got it. Now, for the record, guys, I'm looking for 8s or above because that tells me that it's really, really important. Okay. Second question. How important is it to you that the system you end up investing in comes with a good warranty? Not just a parts warranty, but also a labor warranty. Isn't the labor where they really usually get you? Scale of 1 to 10, how important?
Oh, that would definitely be very important. It's like a 9.
Got it. How important is it to you that the system that you end up investing in is able to control the humidity in the house so that it's not so cold and clammy that it feels uncomfortable, and it's not so dry that you're getting static electricity shocks and bloody noses and things like that? How important would that be to you on a scale of 1 to 10?
Yeah, I don't even know that that's a big issue for me, but still important. Probably 5 or 6. 5.
Got it. On a scale of 1 to 10, how dusty is it in the house? Like 1 would be there's no dust at all, and 10 is like I dust, and the next day I see dust on my tables. Scale of 1 to 10. How dusty?
Yeah, I hate the dust, so I'm gonna be pretty high on that one. That's probably a 9.
Got it. And again, I'm saying got it so that he knows that I understand, right? Next question. How important is it to you that the company that you end up choosing to invest in a new system with comes back after 6 months and then a year? Make sure that the system's broken itself in properly, that it's still level, that there's no loose screws or wire nuts or anything like that. How important is service after the sale to you?
Yeah, we would want that too. That's a 6.
Got it. And then lastly, how important is it to you to get a cheap price?
Well, we want the best value, but the cheap price is not the first thing that we want. But you certainly don't want to overpay. So it's a 5 or 6. And it's important.
Got it. So that was really, really important for me to hear inside of this conversation with the client. Now, if the client had said 10, let's say everything was a 10 straight across the board. Question for you guys. When was the last time that you bought a product that was the highest quality product that you could get? You were totally, totally satisfied with it. You got the best service or warranties after the sale, all at the cheapest price. When was the last time that happened? Can any company do that? Then I might roll into something.
Promise it. Yeah, most might promise it, but we know the reality that they're not going to do it.
100%. 100%. So if they are all 10s, I might have to say something like I just said, or I might have to say something like this. When making an investment decision on a heating and air conditioning system, there are a few things to take into consideration. The first would be the quality of the product, then the quality of the team installing it and servicing it for you, and then the price. Which do you think it would be in your best interest to compromise on? Do you feel like it would be in your best interest to compromise on the quality of product? Maybe get an inferior product that wasn't capable of doing exactly what you wanted it to. Maybe wasn't as quiet as you would like it to be. Maybe costs you more than it should. Or would it be a better idea to compromise on the quality of the people that you're dealing with, the installers that you're working with? Or do you think it'd be in your best interest to compromise on the price? You don't even have to answer that question right now, right? And then I'm going to go and kind of get to work with the rest of the stuff. Now, when I come back to go over the different options with the client, of course, I'm going to go over things like the load calculation with them and other things that you guys, maybe you talk about duct pressure and things like that. But it's time for me to actually present pricing and options for a client on a new system right now. So I've had printed up a couple of pages. Now, these prices, don't worry about what the price is on the page. These were created like 2 years ago. So obviously prices have went up, right? But I've got typically a 3-ring binder or something like that. I do not like going over stuff on an iPad, guys. When I hand an iPad to a customer, it takes them out of communication with me, really. And now they're just working with an electronic device. So I like to have things pre-printed. If I'm running a service call, I like to write out all the options, actually. So Imagine that we're sitting at the table in the seats that I want us to sit in, right? So that both the clients can't trade looks without me seeing their looks. Quick question. Can a woman and a husband, Don, can they communicate non-verbally without saying anything?
Definitely. Just the look. We know the look that I'm getting in trouble, so we know the look that says save me. I don't, help me out here. We know that look back and forth.
So I want to seat them in an arrangement where they can't see each other without me seeing that they're looking at one another. Okay. And right before I open up the book and show them the price pages, I always start with our highest system first. And I always say, now, Mr. and Mrs. Jones, very few people are fortunate enough to own a system this nice, but I'm going to go ahead and show it to you anyways. Right. And then I open the page. Let's go ahead and throw up our optimum system. Now, this is going to go right over Don and I's faces, right? But I'm going to kind of walk you through it. So I open this system up, and don't give me any crap because it says Goodman, guys. Okay, I've got them with Train on it as well. So Don, earlier you said to me that having a system that was efficient, one that cost you as little on a monthly basis as possible, was an 8 to you. You'll be happy to know that this system right here saves you up to 65% on the heating and air conditioning portion of your bill. So long term, it's the cheapest system to own. On top of that, it comes with a variable speed motor that costs about 1/8 of what a regular motor costs. And the heating system is the same way. Super, super, super efficient. All right. You also said that it was important to you that the system came with a good warranty, not just a parts warranty, but a labor warranty as well. That way you don't have any out-of-pocket costs other than normal routine maintenance. And as you can see, the system right here has got a 10-year warranty on the parts, 10 years on the labor. Okay. You also said that it was important that the system dehumidified and humidified your house, so that you didn't have wood doors and things like that were sticking, your furniture wasn't cracking, you didn't get bloody noses and things like that. And you also didn't want it too humid in the house. Well, this has actually got the maximum humidity control that you can get. It'll actually dehumidify the house independently of cooling the house. So if you just want to dehumidify, you can do that without cooling off the house, save you a bunch of money. And would it surprise you to know that if you have got the right amount of humidity in the house in the winter time, that you can actually keep your thermostat set at a lower temperature, typically 2 degrees? And would it surprise you to know that the utility companies say that for about every 1 degree cooler we can keep it in the winter time, you save about 8% on your energy bills. So that's significant. You also said that it was important to you that the system you also said that the dust in the house was not great, right? That you would dust and then the next day you could see dust. Right down here, you can see the Breathe Easy Stage 1 and Stage 4. Those are going to utilize this system to practically dust your house for you. Every time the motor turns on, we're going to be removing dust and particles and things like that, even chemicals out of the air, so that you have a clean, safe, and healthy environment to live in and you don't have to dust as much. You also said that it was important to you that the company that you end up investing with comes back after a year, 6 months, and make sure the system's broken itself in properly. And as you can see down here, there's a 2-year maintenance agreement right down here, which means the next 4 visits are on us over the next 2 years. So we're going to provide you top-notch service after the sale. And then lastly, over here, you can see the total investment right down here. Any questions
I'll
about
play that
this?
game too, right there.
Yeah.
I'll play that game. That'll be fun. Oh, okay, right there.
Yeah.
Sorry.
You think you need to use your other hand for me, Don, and go that direction. So
No.
that's it, guys. Like, you can see the total investment down here. Do you have any questions about this one? If they have questions, answer them. Otherwise, ask them, would you like to see the system underneath this one or beneath this one? Right? They say yes. Boom, here comes the premium system. Oh, look at that. We've got Train on this one. Now, this system actually is super efficient as well. It costs you less on a monthly basis than you are spending right now. It's not 65% like the other one, but still a good amount of savings. This one does have the variable speed heating system, which is super, super cheap to operate, super quiet, and enables you to filter the air for just pennies on the dollar. The outdoor system's got 2 speeds, not like unlimited speeds like the variable does. So it's got a hot day setting and a mild day setting, right? You also said warranty was important to you. This one still has got a 10-year warranty on the compressor, 20 years on the heat chambers, 10 years on the parts, and 5 years on the labor, right? And then we're going to talk about dust. There is nothing on this one to filter out all of that dust, right? So I know that dust was important to you. This system actually just comes with a standard 1-inch filter. So it's not going to have the capabilities of removing all of that dust that the other system's going to have. And for the record, guys, I usually do put at least a media filter in this particular system, right? Humidity control, it does have enhanced humidity control, not quite as good as the last one, but it's still better than what you've got right now. It's got its own digital control center, and we do include a 1-year agreement on this. So the next 2 visits, you are going to get good service after the sale, right? And you can see the price right down here. Any questions on this one? Would you like to see the one beneath it? Now, I don't have a picture of our deluxe system, guys. And I'm not even going to show you the basic on this, right? You can figure all that out. But bottom line is what I'm doing is every time I go to a new system, I'm taking something away. And what normally happens to me is they look at the Optimum and the Premium and then the Deluxe, and then they flip to that basic and they flip right back away from it because there's basically nothing included in it, right? Your basic system should be stripped down so that you can compete at the highest level with some of the lower bidders if you want, right? You're still going to be higher than all those guys, but you need to be able to compete. So that is how you tie the hot button questions to your presentation, right? You want to ask them what's important to them in the beginning and then show them how that system, whatever it is that you're presenting, will solve those problems. And then you want to share the benefits and paint the picture of their new life and how things are going to be. Don, what do you want to add to that?
Well, I wanted to make a comment of when you were doing the survey. We did it last time, and it's so small. Plenty of people miss it, but it's how important is efficiency? And that's one of the words that we really want you to get rid of. But in really in the big scheme of things, we're going to say a lot of our technical terms. We just can't stop ourselves sometimes. But if you just, when you do use technical terms, SEER, efficiency, all of these, just say, and what I mean by that is, and what I mean when I say that is, and fully explain it in a way that is relatable to them. At the training at the Mansion event, we were talking, and we had a code police guy, is what I jokingly called the Tucker, aka Preston, but Tucker, and we laughed a little bit because he says, "Yeah, I do say the word code a lot." And I said, when you find yourself saying it, just say. And what I mean by that is that we keep their system at the highest level of safety that's acceptable. Just tell people what code means. Nobody wants a code police. Nobody wants to be the tattletale. They don't want you to be the tattletale. But if you frame it the proper way. So when you're doing technical terms, and what I mean by this is an 18 SEER, and I really wouldn't want you to say that, but sometimes it slips out, right? And what that means when I say that is it has the best performance than the standard. It's above the standard. And you can go into SEER. It's kind of like a gas mileage on the car. The higher it is, the less you have to put out when you pay at the pump. So you give it a car analogy. Tatiana at the training had an incredibly good cruise control analogy that, super cruise control that I would add to when you're trying to talk about variable speed and constant comfort. If you find yourself saying the word inverter, and when I say that, I mean, and then go on to explain, it's like having super cruise on your car. It just takes care of everything for you, keeps you informed of what's going on, but has it where you don't have to worry about it. It's optimizing, maximizing every aspects of your home. So when you start saying those technical terms, just frame it right and say, and when I say that, what I mean is, and then go on to give you the next level. That alone is a wonderful addition because we often in our technician mindset love to throw technical terms out there.
Yeah.
We overdo the technical terms.
Yep. And Don, we as humans are what you call meaning-making machines. We make everything that we hear or see mean something, right? And has a client ever misunderstood you out there? Have they ever heard you say something and it meant something different to them than it meant to you? That's why Don is saying, if you say a word that they don't understand, and what I mean by that is, and the perfect example is, you said that efficiency was important to you. No, when I asked the question, how important is it to you that the system you end up investing in is efficient? And what I mean by that is that it costs you as little on a monthly basis to operate as possible, right? Boom, they really understand it now. And if they don't understand what you're saying, is that going to create confusion? And what does a confused mind always say?
Well, the original statement is confused mind says no, but what we really have revised it to is a confused mind just doesn't make a decision. They give you let me think about it. So let me put it off. They don't have the guts to say no. They typically just go into avoidance mode. So yeah, you don't want to put them in a confused state. And when you say something, and what I mean when I say that is, and go into that level of how it affects them, and it changes your presentation really, really different. People relate to it, and you'll often hear no one has ever explained stuff to me like that before. No one took the time. These other guys didn't, just told me, a sear and out of here, a number on the back of a business card. That still happens in our business. As much as we know, train, and do everything else, there's still numbers on, just a price on the back of a business card, and sometimes a 3T and a price. 3 ton, 3T is all they wrote down.
Right.
It happens. Your professionalism can blow those guys away, even when your price is double that. So
3T 15.3 SEER. You know what I mean? So listen, guys, if you want to get more information like this, if you want to elevate your sales skills, if you want to get to that $500,000 a year income, not revenue, but income mark, the way to do it is to either get into our mastermind where we coach twice a week. Both Don and I are in there. We do one-on-one coaching in a group setting. We did that this morning for an hour, and it was a phenomenal session. So if you want information on the Zoom training and the twice a week training that we do, just put mastermind in the comments and we'll have somebody get you some information on that. The best way to get involved with us and to see instant success with your sales, like Alex was talking about this morning, like a lot of the other guys that come to our classes, is to come to a live event. All right. The live events, the next one that we have is March 20th through the 24th. I opened up registration for that yesterday. And so we have 6 seats, I think, already filled for that. So we only have 18 seats left. They will go quickly. But you want to come out to one of the live events. We stay at these big houses, mansions, if you were. The one that we actually have is in Orlando. So you want to fly into Orlando. You're going to stay with us actually at the mansion. There's no reason to leave once you get there. We're going to provide you food. We're going to house you. We're going to take care of you. All right. So we'll be training Thursday, Friday, Saturday. You want to show up on Wednesday night and then you leave on Sunday morning. I'm going to run you a quick video on that right now so that you can see the place that we're going to go and what some of the participants have had to say. And then we'll come back and we'll wrap this podcast up for you today. So check this video out real quick and we'll be right back with you.
I'm Jonah Gorlitz. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. I've been doing HVAC for about 1.5, 2 years now, and I work for Instant Air out of Shepherdsville, Kentucky.
Hi, I'm Kim Kay. I work with Leads Nearby, and I've been working with Leads Nearby for over 8 years, and we work with HVAC, electrical, and plumbing contractors.
So my name is Chris Laurentino from Comfort Specialists. We're out of Morris County, New Jersey. And I've been in the industry about 17 years now. I joined the mastermind because it's not just a sales course. Actually, it's not really a sales course at all. So the reason that I joined the mastermind is I've seen some people's results online.
This is different from other events I've been to. I've been to various contest events for quite a few years now.
It's really taught me how to understand and communicate to the customer well. It's actually my second mansion trip from the community of how well some people have done, and I really wanted to be a part of that.
This one is the best space. It's the most glamorous space. And it's basically one training that builds upon each other.
Share in that success, and it felt that the best way to achieve that was to actually get here and get involved in the training. And frankly, in my mind, there's no better way to train than in person. Since I've been in the class since December, my income has improved, my revenue for the company has improved, my customer relations have improved, and my call volume has decreased while the profits and everything else has increased. Being here is a unique experience that you can't replicate in just a Zoom class. There's so much more that you get out of this.
And other events I've been to, it's a lot of information on a lot of topics, where this is very concentrated. I feel like it allows you to have more focus.
You guys, you want to join us?
Exciting to get to watch that. You're going to want to get there. It's exciting.
Yeah, for sure, man. Next one is March 20th through the 24th. Just put mansion down in the comments somewhere if you would like to get more information, or just text me. Text me on my cell phone. This is my actual personal cell. It's 239-848-6533. I'll give that one more time for the people that are on audio only and can't see the video. 239-848-6533. Just shoot me a text and I'll get you whatever info you need on that.
And there is another way to get this training. And if you're a business owner, manager, and you wanted to have Gene, myself come out, because sometimes you go, it can't send my whole team, but we really need it for the whole company. Well, we could come on site, spend a week with you, typically a 4 days process, and go through the training as well. So that's a possibility out there if you're looking to get your whole team certified moving forward, making a big impact on the year. So that's what I did with my company for years. As Gene came to my locations, I sent a few to him, but I brought him in to train all of our staff. It was how I could get this implemented quicker and make a quick and huge impact for my company.
Well, that works really well too, Don, because when we come on site, we do like 4 to 5 hours worth of training in the mornings. And then we release the guys to go out in the field, still be productive, and put into practice what it was that they learned. So you're not shutting your entire company down, but for maybe one call in the morning for the guys that are training with you, right?
Right.
So that is a phenomenal way to do it. It's usually for the bigger boy companies, companies that are 5 million or more can typically take something like that on. Guys, really, truly appreciate you hanging out with us today. Please shoot a comment down to me down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from and what trade you actually do. That would be freaking wonderful. And if you're watching it on a live and you don't want to tell me where you're from, just please put live down in the comments. That's the fee for the show. It's all we charge. Don, what were you going to say?
Electricians. We've had electricians at this event. We've got electricians in the mastermind. We've got plumbing companies only in the mastermind, and we have guys that obviously do HVAC, which is the bread and butter of what we teach. A lot of the samples are more HVAC, but it's all the in-home service trades can follow the same sales process. And once you understand it, you can transfer it into any new product. We don't have to teach you every product in this world, but if you learn a few of the techniques of the basics, you get the 4 cornerstone pieces put together, you can build out this foundation wherever. And I'm gonna throw Gene under the bus a little bit. Why don't you put a contest out and give away a seat for the mansion? If we do a contest, we have a month and a half, about 6 weeks, maybe a 6-week long contest. What would be valuable to you enough to give away a seat at the mansion?
Man, I don't know. I think that's something I would like to think about for 20, 30 minutes before we go ahead and do it. But I'm not opposed to that. I'm definitely not opposed to it. It's a big giveaway, big ticket giveaway. And I'm hesitant to do it just because We literally just opened the training, and I'm sure that we're going to sell out for this one quickly, but maybe by Tuesday
the spring ones are typically the spring ones are the typical. Everybody wants to polish up before the summer. So you're right. The chances of having an extra seat to set aside is a little bit of a challenge, but think about that. See if we could do some sort of contest. I think that would
even
be
even if it's for the mastermind or something. But yeah, I think we should do something like that. You know, givers gain, right? The more that you give, the more that you get. And look, at the end of the day, our goal, our mission here, our purpose for existing, at least mine and the company's purpose, is to help technicians to make more money, work fewer hours, and get home for dinner on time and be able to do fun stuff with their families on the weekend. How many of you guys haven't tucked your kids into bed for like the last couple of weeks or months? How many of you have missed dinners with them because you're out serving other clients, right? And, you know, Don, that brings me back to the mansion events. I want to share one thing with you guys before we let you go. I've had contractors come up to me and say, you know, the mansion events and stuff, like, I just think like that's just too flashy and I don't want to pay for a mansion, right? That just jacks the cost way up. Well, nothing could be further from the truth. Would you believe it's actually cheaper for me to put everybody up in this mansion than to buy all of the hotel rooms? And have you ever been to an event where there was a class and then everybody kind of dispersed and went back to their hotel rooms afterwards? Did they get any more training after that? Did they potentially go out and get themselves into trouble, end up at strip clubs, end up potentially sacrificing a relationship as a result, or getting too drunk or whatever, and then not taking the training seriously? This is why we keep everybody together. There's no reason to leave once you get here. And we're not babysitters, right? I'm not going to say you can't get an Uber and go somewhere if you want, but we make it so fun and inviting that nobody wants to leave.
No,
right, Don?
I agree. Right. We provide you said the mansion, the house, the room, the food. Florida provides the sunshine. So if you haven't had your sake of sunshine, your quota in this wintertime, you're going to want to get down there. The pool, sitting by the pool, enjoying the afternoons, the short breaks, soaking up the sunshine. It's an incredible experience to get to be at these events. And it doesn't feel like you're in a cheap hotel conference room. You're in a very nice place to train. Sit around on the couches, sit around by the pool, and just ask all the questions that you had in your mind, but just didn't know how to approach someone to ask the questions. That whole weekend is about leaving there with the talent, with something where you can go back and add revenue immediately. And again, we had several success stories this week. I'm very proud of the guys this week and all the successes.
And if you guys are wondering, maybe this is the first time you're hearing of Lead Ninja and you're wondering whether or not we're legit, you could head on over to leadninjasystem.com. I'm going to see if I can get it for you here. And you can see some of the places where we've been featured. Places like Forbes, New York Weekly, LA Weekly, Fox, Entrepreneurial Magazine, Valiant CEO, Yahoo Finance, Digital Journal, Smart Tech, Microsoft, Benzinga, Grit Daily, CEO World. Like, we're not a joke over here. We're actually the best provider for sales training in the HVAC, plumbing, and electrical spaces that you're going to find. So, guys, thank you for joining us today. We appreciate you. I hope you got something out of this. Please share it with somebody else or put somebody's name down in the comments that needs to hear these messages. Anything else before we take off, Don?
No, great to be on here, and we'd like to see more comments and more share of this, and just put into the comments other topics that you might like to hear us chat about. So
awesome. And if you guys are interested in having Don come out and do some training for your team on site so that you guys don't have to send anybody anywhere, just put on-site training down in the comments and we'll shoot you some info on that. Don, thanks for joining me again today, brother. Appreciate you. Look forward to seeing you.
Good to see you. Thank you, Gene.
Bye, guys.